Hey everyone, this will be a bit of a review here on the TCL 30Z, and you can see here I only paid 20 bucks for this phone. This one is total by Verizon, so this is normally 40 bucks only, so it is a cheap phone. It is a 6.1-inch HD plus display. It has 8 megapixel back camera, 5 megapixel front facing camera, battery talk time of only up to 19 hours, so battery is not the best on here. It is a small battery. Then if you get it through Verizon, of course, it is no contract, unlimited talk, text, and data. Of course, you guys can check out the plans, or you can also buy this for other carriers as well. Here, now before I start here, I do want to say or continue here. Brightness is up all the way. The display is not terrible for a $40 device. Actually, I think it's pretty decent. I've seen worse displays on more expensive devices. That is pretty decent. The camera on here is not good. It is a very basic camera. Not going to be taking that great of pictures. Be kind of blurry pictures at that. And this does not have wireless charging. Does not. And it does not have NFC, which are two things you should not really be expecting for a $40 device. And once again, this is only $40, so you have to keep your expectations kind of in check when you're spending so little on a phone. So let's look at this phone real fast here. So it does have these decent sized bezels. I know it's kind of hard to see. Let's turn this back on. It does have these decent sized bezels, especially the chin. The forehead actually isn't too big. And then the sides are so-so compared to something very similar like this Blue View 4. If we look at the side bezels, the Blue View 4 is about half the size of the TCL. And you can of course lock this, and it does actually have face unlock, which does seem to work okay as well. Again, brightness is up all the way. This is not a bright device by any means. It is a very, well, it's pretty dim device. Might have some troubles if you're outside in a very bright environment. So we of course have our volume rocker. You have a power button. We do have a headphone jack, which is cool. You have a mic. Nothing on that side. Bottom here, only one of these speakers is an actual speaker. This does have still USB, micro USB. It does not have USB Type C, so it is a slow charging device. The back here to me does look pretty cool. It is not actually textured. It just looks like it is textured, but it looks pretty nice. This is actually a track phone. This is kind of weird. It's a TCL phone, but it's track phone. And then it's total by Verizon. It's a weird thing, but it is TCL. You do have your back camera and a flash, which is cool. And then the crazy thing, I'm not going to show off here because the phone is on, but it does actually have a removable battery. So this pops off, and actually when you open this thing up, the battery is already out of it, and the back's off of it. You actually have to assemble it. It's kind of weird. So it has a removable battery in here, and then it's also how you get to your SIM cards by popping off the back. Very, very different for a 2023 or in 2023 here. And mess that up. Performance-wise, for a $40 device, it is okay. So let this load on in. Let's go ahead and we'll get rid of that. Let's go to something simple here, like Pokemon.com. Again, it's not the quickest. I would even say for in this price range, it's not the quickest. Again, like the Blue View 4 is actually faster than what this is going to be. But for $40, it's not terrible. At least on websites like Pokemon.com. It does load in decently quick. You go to have your more graphically intensive or just more intensive websites, you're going to have to wait a bit longer for it to load in. And again, the display on here is actually pretty decent. I don't really have any issues with it whatsoever. It is nice and easy to read. The colors are actually pretty good. The darks are pretty dark. No issues with that. But if you're going to be doing anything heavier, you will probably have some issues with this device. So to show that off, here is Best Buy's website, which is a little bit more intensive than Pokemon is. And you will at times have quite a bit of stuttering. Let's see, when you're trying to scroll through stuff. which again for a $40 device isn't actually bad. Of course, now it's not really going to do it. Now it's loading pretty well. So again, this is a little bit of a more intensive website. We'll click on this laptop here, and we can see it is quite a bit slower than it was on Pokemon.com. Especially if you don't let it load in all the way, which all this stuff's still loading, you're going to get a lot more jittering, a lot more. It's trying to load in all this stuff. You can see how long this is taking to load in. So this is definitely not going to be the fastest of devices. Next, let's show off the speaker. I almost said speaker. So only one of these two speakers work, and it is just a single speaker device. So volume is going to be up all the way here, and you can see it will sometimes take a moment to load in. A lot of times if you scroll through something, it takes a bit to load in. The speaker's over here. It actually doesn't sound bad. It's not terrible sounding. It's just not very loud, and it's only one single speaker. So compared to other phones that have like the speaker up here as well, of course, it's not going to sound as good as those. Again, it does get pretty. It does sound pretty good. It just does not get that loud. And then we show this off again. You'll see a little bit more of that. A little bit of like jittering going on as you try to scroll through YouTube. So I mean, all in all, for $40, it's not as bad as I thought this was going to be. I'll be honest. It is not a fantastic phone by any means. It's nowhere near a lot more expensive phone. Of course, this is very much a budget-friendly phone at only $40. And I think for $40, it's not bad. But like I said, there are other phones around the same price range that will be better. But if you really want a TCL phone, I mean, and you're only paying $40 for this thing or less like I did, it's not bad for what it is. It is very much a cheap phone. It will do what you need it to do for the most part, as long as your expectations are where they should be when you're spending only $40 on a phone. All in all, I think this is an okay phone. There are better options out there, but yeah, you all let me know what you think. $40. If this is what you want, I say go ahead. It's not terrible. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have a good one. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.